question is quite simple. How do you balance this? How do you draw the line and how do you balance this? Because shutting out the doors to tourism is really not the answer. But then I think we're loving our hills too much. We're suffocating them. How do we balance this? We're seeing record footfalls across hill stations and the pilgrimage routes. At what point does tourism cross the ecological carrying capacity of a mountain ecosystem? And what are the solutions to those key gaping loopholes?
Well, see, this is not just tourism now; it is also climate refuse. So most of the people who are coming to the mountains, they are refugees in the mountains. I'm just coming back from Kedarnath. I was there for last 5 days, and we've been trying to do a lot of waste management around these Char Dham Yatra. Last year, we thought that the number of people who visited Kedarnath was 17 lakhs, and this year, yesterday itself, in 40 days, the number has crossed 10 lakhs. It is an official data that we have. So we were prepared to manage 17 lakh people coming in and their waste, but now in 140 days, we just witnessed 10 lakh visitors, and it's crazy for us to manage that kind of waste. Because every day Char Dham Yatra, not Char Dham Yatra, but Kedarnath just
Yeah.
generates about 4 to 5 tons of solid waste, which is beyond the capacity that we have right now.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about carrying capacity. We have done a lot of research. Multiple IITs have done the carrying capacity research, but at the same time, we are not using those research. Nobody's implementing those findings that we take out from those carrying capacity research that has been done. So it's very very difficult. Every road has been chalked for last couple of weeks as summers the temperature reaches 40 plus in the plain areas. Most of the mountains face this. Yes, it's very good for the tourism, but we need to create that balance and we need to create those policies. In fact, those policies are there in the place, but we need people who can implement those policies on the ground. We need to create that ecosystem, and we've been doing that for last 10 years, but it's not enough. We need more people on the ground.
You see, you spoke about waste management. How do we fix that particular problem? That's a mammoth amount of waste that you just spoke about, and that's happening on an everyday basis. Mr. Sangwan, how do we fix that particular problem?
See, I'll give you one example. So I just said that 40 days, 10 lakh visitors, and roughly in Kedarnath now we're reaching a point wherein I can say that we have generated about 400 tons of waste in just 40 days. And that's true. So nobody's prepared for that. But at the same time, there are multiple, materials that are being used every year. People keep introducing one thing or the other. In our facility, we already collected 15 tons of material, in which 50% is known, required. We buy raincoats while going to the yatra, and we dump it on the way. We buy so much of prasad samagri, we dump it on the way. We just now I saw that there's new invention that has happened, and it's one of the most weird inventions that you have to cover your shoes with a rubber that is being sold and everybody is buying it. So out of 10 lakh visitors, 5 lakh buy them. Then the amount of waste which is being, and for the same, what we have introduced is carry me back. Whatever you are taking, get it back to the base hill, a base area. From 250 grams to 5 kg, if your capacity allows, carry that back. And we just, a couple of days back introduced this, and it is getting a tremendous amount of response. But at the same time, we need to minimize waste at the foothill. We cannot allow material to reach at a certain altitude, because the kind of carbon footprint it will create to just collect, segregate, compress, and then bring it back to the base, and then finally sending it to recycling. It's an whole ecosystem, and there's always a viability gap in terms of its finance and
Yeah,
sustainability.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we need to figure out ways that how do we control this mammoth amount of waste which is reaching at certain altitude at the foothill. That should be the focus area. Yes, people are getting, the numbers are increasing by the year. From last year to this year, it has increased significantly, and I'm assuming it will increase next year as well. So overall, we have to, see the larger aspect
You're
of what we are
absolutely
trying
right,
to
Mr.
achieve.
Sangwan.